Good evening. I am Somak, a research scholar at School of Mathematics and Statistics, University of Hyderabad. So today is my extra session of 1 hour for your calculus of several real variable course. So today I will not solve any specific problems. So I will just give you some hint so that you can solve the questions in your exam. I think your exam is next week or something. I don't know the date. Okay, so
It was
first
this
I
Saturday.
this Saturday. Okay, so how is the preparation? You attend all my classes, right?
Yeah, one round of revision should do it.
Okay, okay. So today I will just give you some tricks or technique how to solve problems or something, or I will recapitulate whatever I did. So first I will start with vector product. That is two types of product, right? Dot product and cross product. Cross product. So what you do in dot and cross product? Suppose in the question it is given A is one vector, A1 plus A2, J hat plus A3, K, and B is another vector. So what do you mean by this dot product? What is A dot B? Is it a scalar or a vector? Today I will ask many
Scalar.
questions. Huh. So it is a scalar. So that means it is some number, right? So how you calculate this? Tell me.
So just
Anyone?
multiply the corresponding coefficients.
Yeah. So what it represent in the suppose in 2D? What is the formula for A dot B? Suppose a angle between
AB
A
cos
and B.
theta.
Huh?
AB cos theta.
Yeah, correct. So this represent this is A dot B means A dot A into B into cos theta. This will come by cosine rule. That I already told in my class how it came. Okay. So suppose you are given two vectors, you have to find the angle between two. So what is the formula for that? It is nothing but theta equal to cos inverse A dot B by mod A into mod phi. Okay. So suppose in your exam question is giving two vector, it is given find the angle between the two vectors. So you will apply this formula. Okay. This formula. And next I will move to cross product. Before that, I want to tell suppose P, Q, and R be two position vector. So what do you mean by PQ vector? Can you tell PQ vector or QR vector or PR vector? Can you tell?
Like PQ is Q vector minus P vector.
Yes, position vector means it is position from zero origin. So Q minus R means OQ minus OR. Sorry, OQ minus OP here. Here it is OR minus OQ. Here it is OR minus OP. You should not write opposite. Okay, if you write opposite, then you will get different answer. So cross product means A cross B. Formula is there. A cross B is just A1, A2, A3. Um, Sorry, first I have to write I, J, K, A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, right? This is cross product. So what do you mean by cross product in geometrically? Or what is, suppose theta is the angle between A and B, so what is the formula?
So it gives us a vector perpendicular to the plane containing the constituent vectors.
Yeah, correct. So it is a vector that cross product is a vector that represent a vector which is in the direction of perpendicular to the plane of both A and B, where A and B both lies. So what do you mean by this mod? I already told all these things. Mod of A cross B means
It
mod
gives
means what?
the area
Mod
of
A,
the parallelogram formed by these vectors.
mod of A cross B means mod A cross mod B sin theta, right? Mod of n hat is 1. N hat is outward or unit normal? Outward unit normal. Okay. So mod of A cross B is, as you said, area of a parallelogram. Whose sides are A and B. Whose sides are A and B. Okay. So suppose you are giving in a question that you have to find some area of a parallelogram or area of a triangle whose sides are some vector. Suppose P vector and Q vector. So how you find the area of a parallelogram? It is nothing but you just cross product and take the modulus for the area of a parallelogram, and for the area of a triangle just you take half of it, then it is represent area of a triangle. Okay, so like that you have to solve. Similarly, volume of a parallelepiped, it is box ABC. As I told you, A dot B cross C, it is volume of a parallelepiped. So like that you have to solve, you have to take dot and cross product in different situation. Similarly, when A and B are parallel, perpendicular, you have to take from dot product. Dot product 0 means they are perpendicular. Cross product 0 means they are parallel to each other. Okay. Any question up to this? Anyone? Just a small recapitulation for the for this session. I will not solve any particular problem because all the assignments, tutorial, previous year assignments are over. So any question till now? Then I will move to what is called chain rule. Because today is 1 hour session. Chain rule. So tell me what is chain rule. Suppose u is a function of x comma y. X, y are function of r and theta. So how you write del u del r? Tell me. Hello?
So we will do it in the form of a matrix. Like first we will have in the first row matrix we will have del x by del r, del y by del r.
Row matrix you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, then
And this will be multiplied by another matrix where we have like del r by del x, del theta
what
by
type
del x on the
of
first row.
what type of matrix?
A
Del r
square
by
matrix.
del r by,
Del x,
okay.
then del theta by del x.
Here or here? What should I write?
Yeah, in the same row.
Del theta by del x.
And in the next row, del r by del y, del theta by del y.
But you are here you have u in the left hand side. In the right hand side there is no u. How it is true? Sorry. You have u here.
Like u is represented as a function of x and y,
Ah,
which is further represented as a function of r and theta.
no, not this. This is what you told. I didn't get. The formula is del u del r. You have to find. So u should be your right hand side also. So it is del u del x into del x del r. And whenever you are differentiating with respect to r, there will not be any theta. R and theta are independent. Okay. So del u del x into del x del r plus del u del y into del y del r. This is the formula, na? Understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So similarly, del del u del theta is what? Tell me. Plus del u del y del theta. This is the formula, right? Right?
Yeah.
You forgot. You please write down or remember this. Suppose u is a function of x and y. X and y are function of t. Then what is then I will write du dt. So what is this? Tell me. Because I have to tell many things today on 1 hour. So just quite
Del u del x into del x del t.
not del x del t. It is dx dt. Why dx dt? Because t is the only variable here. Xy is a function of t only. So
Okay.
del x del t is same as dx dt, but you have to tell dx dt. Okay,
Okay.
not partial del. Plus del u del y into dy
dy
dt.
dt.
That's it. Okay. This is chain rule is very important in solving um, many problems in calculus of several variables. I told you please watch SAT's video or my tutorial classes also. Okay, how to find the equation of a surface, or suppose z equal to some something xy plus log x, something it is given. So how you find del z del x? Either by directly differentiating, or you have to find using this chain rule. So if you are able to find z explicitly in any relation, then you directly find. Otherwise, you have to find using chain rule. Okay, use chain rule. Okay, fine. Any question? Any question till now from these two things, or you have? If you have any question, you can ask me. By the way, anyone. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, then I'll move to partial derivatives. What is partial derivative? How you find? So suppose f is a function of two variable. Some suppose e power xy. So partial derivative means you have to find del f del x, that is limit h goes to 0, that formula f of x plus h comma y minus, like this you have to find using formula, or you can directly find directly differentiating this. Directly if you differentiate, you will get y into e power xy, right? So partial derivative finding is easy provided your f is given in an explicit form. If your f is not given in explicit, then you have to find it using this formula. Okay. Somebody send some message or okay. So suppose there is something called implicit function theorem that I already told in my class. You can check the video of I think week 3. So implicit function theorem is saying fxy equal to 0. From this, you have to write y as a function of x. So how you write this? When you write this? Tell me, anyone. When you are able to write implicitly. Implicit means from this position to y equal to phi of x you can write for any phi differentiable function. So what is the criteria? Anyone? What is the criteria to write this? Criteria is in a neighborhood of some point x naught y naught where f x naught y naught is 0. You have to write the f x naught y naught 0 and what is the non-zero del f del y at x naught y naught. It is not equal to 0. Then you can write in that neighborhood of x naught y naught f x y equal to 0 as y equal to phi of x. Okay. In that neighborhood f x y equal to 0 can be written as, yes, tell me, y equal to phi of x. Where what is phi dash x? Tell me phi dash x.
It is
It
the
is the
function of
function of
x.
x. That is correct. Minus del f del x by del f del y, na?
Yeah, yeah.
For you please remember your exam. In your exam it may come. Okay. Then what is directional derivative? Gradient, directional derivative. Gradient I told just last day only. Gradient and directional derivative. So what is gradient? Suppose f is any function. F is a function of two variable, which is a vector, which is a function. So what is gradient of f? Gradient of f is del f del
Del f
x.
del x and del f del y.
This is a vector. So what is its direction? Vector means it has magnitude and direction. Direction is what?
It is perpendicular to the plane containing the function.
Perpendicular to the surface where the function is lying. Not always plane. So suppose you are giving any fxy equal to 0, this type of curve. You have to find outward unit normal. So what you will do, you will find grad f by mod grad f. Okay. Outward normal is, it is outward normal. So you have to find grad f by mod grad f to solve any problem. Suppose integral problems you have to solve, na? So directional derivative means what? This is called gradient. What is directional derivative? What is dd, directional derivative? Tell me. It is grad f dot n hat, right?
Yes.
N hat is the outer normal. You should remember these formulas for your exam. Formulas are very important because if you forget the formula, you cannot solve the problem. Though the problem is easy. Okay, so I already told how to find n hat and grad f. So directional derivative you can find. Directional derivative means derivative in a particular direction. Okay, fine. Any question? By the way, did you attend the other TA Tech tutorial, the extra session?
No.
Okay. No extra session.
No.
Okay, fine. No issue. No, what she did, I don't know. That is like okay, fine, fine. So, what do you mean by critical? Now I'll move to critical points. This extra session is only for recapitulation of what I did. Okay, and if you have any question, you can ask. I will try to solve the problem. But let first recapitulate. Tell me what is critical points.
The point at which the slope or the derivative
Uh,
of any function that becomes 0.
uh, it has any relation with maximum, minima, or something?
Yeah, we check maxima, minima, or saddle point at the critical points.
Yeah, yeah. So fx equal to 0, that is you are saying fy equal to 0, you have to find. For critical point, you have to find these two things. From that, you have to find uh, the points x comma y. What are the points by solving these two? So now for maxima or minima, what you have to find? Check the Jacobian. What is that? Del 2f del x2, del 2f del x del y, del 2f del y del x, and del 2f del y2. Now if this is a determinant, so this means either it is positive, negative, something. So if it is negative, then it has maximum. It is positive, minimum, and equal to 0. Then what happened? Equal to 0. Equal to 0, it has no conclusion. Right? Correct?
Yes.
Provided there is another condition, del 2f del x2 at that x naught y naught, whatever I found. Oh, it is x naught y naught. Huh? I should write x naught y naught, some point. Provided this is positive and my Jacobian it is negative, then it has local maxima. Del 2f del x2, it is at x naught y naught, it is negative, and this is greater than 0, then it is local minima. Okay, so let me write in a clear way. This and this implies maxima. This and this, suppose Jacobian I am writing as D. D is the Jacobians, and D is positive implies minima. And if D equal to 0, no conclusion. Okay. Sorry, it is, please check this. Huh? Both are positive maxima. One positive, one negative, minima. 0, no conclusion. And D less than 0, what? X naught comma y naught is what then?
Maxima.
No, D less than 0. Maxima is D greater than 0 and del 2f del x2 greater than 0. Minima is D greater than 0, del 2f del x2 less than 0. D equal to 0, no conclusion. D less than 0 means it is a saddle point. Okay, remember this formula. For maxima, both del 2f del x2 and D positive. For minima, D positive and del 2f del x2 negative. So D is always positive, then you have conclusion. If D is 0, no conclusion. If D means this Jacobian. If D is less than 0, then it is a saddle point. Okay. Understand? Remember the formula?
Yeah.
So suppose in your question you are giving fxy equal to 0 is a function, find its maximum minima. So what you will do? Tell me process. First you will find what? Fx equal to 0 and
Critical
fy
points.
critical points. Then you will check the Jacobian D. Then you will check what is D sign. If D is positive, Then you check del 2f del x2 at that critical point. If it is positive, we have local minima. If it is negative, then maxima. If it is 0, then no issue. 0 will not happen. And suppose d less than 0 you got, then no conclusion. But suppose
Saddle point.
d equal to 0, saddle point. Sorry, d less than 0, saddle point, and d equal to 0, no conclusion. That is the thing. So it is the called mechanical way. What is the formula or how to solve? Because in your exam you have to solve within. I think in exam this MCQ type question, right?
Yeah.
So in exam you have to solve by some MCQ question means it has some time limit. So you have to solve within 3 hours or something. So you have to, if you forgot the formula, then it is problematic. So remember the formulas. With this formula only you can find all the maximum, minimum, and all. And there is one thing that is called Lagrange's multiplier method. Remember? Did you remember this thing? Hello? That is find maxima, minima. Yes. Any question? Yes, tell me. Who is raising her hand? Vinotini, you have any question?
No, sir.
Do you know what is Lagrange multiplier method? Avitato, you can you tell when I should apply Lagrange multiplier? Do you remember or I will tell?
So you tell.
Okay. So Lagrange multiplier means you have to find that maximum minimum of fxy equal to 0 provided with or subject to some condition on gxy equal to c. Then you have to apply Lagrange's multiplier method. In your previous problem, directly you have to find maximum minimum for fxy equal to fxy. But here, sorry, not 0. Here you have to find maximum minimum for fxy subject to some condition. That is, suppose you are giving find the maximum of x square subject to x square plus y square subject to st means s full stop t means subject to suppose x square plus 5y equal to 1. So you have to find maxima subject to this condition. Then you will have to apply Lagrange multiplier method. Suppose in your question this condition is not there, then directly you solve using that Jacobian and all. But suppose it is there, subject to some x plus 5y equal to say 7. So what you will do is that you have to write some L, Lagrange's multiplier. It is f plus lambda into gxy minus c. Now you find maximum minima for L using that Jacobian thing all. Okay, this L is called Lagrange multiplier. Okay, understand? I solved some problem in my course. In the tutorial, you can check that problems. Okay, this is one example. So similarly, so in L, how you find maximum minima for L? Using similar process as you find in F. Just your F becomes L, nothing else. So you have to find the value of lambda, x and y. Okay, understand or remember? Okay, so since I have only 1 hour time, so I'm moving quickly, just recapitulate everything. Now you can check my videos for better for all the explanation or Professor Joydeep Datta's video. He gave already all the details of proof of all these things. Okay, so you have to suppose you want to find some um, maximum minima of some distance. Suppose you have to find distance from origin. distance from origin of some point. So what you will do is that you have to find s distance means root over x1 minus 0 whole square plus x2 minus 0 whole square. So what is the maximum minimum for this case? Suppose x1 comma x2 is the point. You have to find distance from origin, and it depends on some parameter t. Suppose x1 is a function of t, while x2 is a function of t. So you to find the maximum minima, you did one thing. You finding maximum of s is same as finding maximum of s square. Okay, so just you square it first. Square this thing. That means you will get xt square plus x1 t square plus x2 t square. Now you find the maximum minima for a square. Find maxima or minima for x square, so that you will get the answer very easily. Because if you put root na, then you again to differentiate you have to differentiate the root thing, and complication will come. So to remove the complication, you have to square the function. Okay, it is a common strategy. Similarly, if you want to find suppose some position vector is given, r of t is some sine t I plus cos t j plus k, suppose. So what you will do to find the maximum, minima, or everything, you just differentiate this thing. Here, no need to find, uh, there is no question of finding distance, but suppose in a problem you have to find some distance from origin, then you will do whatever I tell, square. And suppose r is position vector, so dr dt represent velocity, d2r dt2 this represent acceleration, right? So suppose in a problem you are giving position vector, you have to find the velocity vector, you just differentiate it. Suppose you are giving position vector, you have to find length of a curve. So what you will do, you will integrate it over a to b, right? Root over dx dt square plus dy dt square plus dz dt square. Where what is xyz suddenly came? Nothing. Where r vector is xi plus yj plus zk. Where xyz are function of t. So you find the length of this curve r. It is nothing but from integral from a to b this, right? Remember this formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next I will move to what is called integrals, multiple integral. It is the most important chapter of your course. Why? Because most of the time you have to write the limit carefully. Limit of the integral is most important. Because if you write the wrong limit, then your answer is wrong. Though your process is correct, your answer become wrong. So limit you have to write very, very carefully by drawing the graph, or by drawing or by taking change of order of integration. So as I told you, suppose the area where you have to do the integral is a square type of thing, then in most of the cases change of order of integration is not required. Change of order of integration is may not be required. May not be required. Okay. But suppose the area is like a triangular type of thing, then many of the cases, if you are not able to solve the integral, then you better you did one thing, you change the order of the integration. That means suppose the integral is given, okay, let me take one example for that. I already solved this example, though I will tell again. Suppose integral sin y by y dy dx. Y varying from x to pi and x varying from 0 to pi. So what is first you have to draw to change the order of integration, you have to draw the what you have to draw, tell me.
The graph of this function.
No, yeah, no, graph of not graph of this function. You have to draw this limit. It has no relation with this function, okay? You have to draw graph of this function. It's not possible to draw also because sin y by
Okay.
y it is given. So you have to draw. Suppose it is x-axis, it is y-axis. You have to draw x equal to 0 means y-axis, x equal to pi, y equal to 0 and y equal to x. Sorry, y equal to x and y equal to pi. Y equal to pi means this line. So it will intersect here. You should not draw any. Okay, you should not draw the graph. You should always draw the limit. That is the change of order of integration. So in this case, you cannot integrate directly, right? So what you will do is that you have to take here some horizontal strip. That means you are writing dy dx as dx dy in the next line. So what you will do? Okay, I'll write in the next page. What you will do is that you have to write dx dy into sin y by y. It is same. X varying from what to here? For fixed y, x varying from
X
this point
0
to
to
this
y.
point. Sorry, 0 to
X
y
from 0 to y.
and y varying from 0 to pi.
0 to pi.
So if you integrate y varying from 0 to pi, sin y by y will come outside because it is integration with respect to x. Into integral of x is x varying from 0 to y dy. So what is this? This y equal to 0 to pi sin y by y into y. This y cancel out. So it is nothing but integral of sin y from 0 to pi. It is nothing, my answer is 2. But if you directly solve, you are not able to solve. Suppose you don't know, suppose you don't want to apply change of order of integration, then you cannot solve this problem. Because sin y by y is not, integral is not possible. So you have to do change of order of integration. So suppose in a problem you are not able to solve the problem, you think the problem to you think as to change the order of the integration so that directly you can solve. And to change the order of integration, you should not draw the graph of the function. You should always draw the graph of the limits. Okay, understand? Abhi Roy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and other people, other please response. Suppose integral of, I told you in the example of e power minus x square dx dy. This is not possible to solve. E power minus x square. So what you will do if you change the order of integral, na? Dy dx something, some r to r star. R is some region and r star. So what you will do is that after integrating with respect to y, you will get some x. Right? Suppose y is from 0 to x. Suppose in that problem. So now you can solve this very easily. Why? Because you can take x square as z, and so x dx is some dz by 2 and you can solve. But directly you cannot solve. So always remember this thing. Suppose you are not able to solve or something, better you change of order of integral. And as I told, multiple integral, very important is limit. It is most important. If you make mistake in limit, then your problem may be wrong, though your process is correct. Okay. Did you understand Vinotini and Mr. Misra? Please respond. Otherwise, I will move to the next topic of small discussion. Is it going well? Abhitata Roy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so I'll move to the next one. It is so what should I tell now? So okay, center of mass and moment of inertia. Okay, so center of mass and moment of inertia completely depends on your formula. Here you have to remember the formula very well. Formula is center of mass is a coordinate, so x bar is my by m, y bar is mx by m, right? What is m? What is my? Is integral x into that delta is the density function into dA. dA is the area. Yes. Any question? You want to tell something? Abhitata Roy? Okay. So mx is integral y delta dA. And m is, what is m? What is m? Integral delta dA, right? This is m. Correct?
Yes.
So you apply these formulas and got the center of mass. And moment of inertia is nothing but some, what is moment of inertia? Formula? Moment of inertia about x-axis. What is the formula?
Center of mass into the distance.
Distance from x-axis is y. Suppose xy is a point. So distance from x-axis is y and distance from y-axis is x.
Yeah.
Okay. So you should not understand x comma y. So distance from x-axis is x. So distance, as you said, it is y into y delta. That's why y squared delta dA, right? Y
Yes.
into y delta. Yeah, correct. Delta is the density function. Okay, so more people join to that. Okay, so
Okay, sir. One question.
yes.
Will the density function be given in the question?
Density function is given in the question. Otherwise, it is not possible. No? Density function is given. Either delta or f. Sometimes notation does not matter, but it will write. It will be written there. Density function. Notation does not matter. Delta you can in the question it can be given as f. Okay, but it is given. Okay, so I'll move to the next one quickly. It is about integral, line integral, surface integral, integrals. So what are those? Line integral, surface integral, and volume integral. So most important part of these integrals is what? Limit. Integral means most important is limit. Most important is the limit of your integrals. So what are those things? So suppose you have to find some integral of, and one most another is another I should write. Okay. Another is, can you tell me what is another important? Limit is one thing. What is another? Quickly. In integrals. Abhitata Roy? No. It is parameterization.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Oh, you should tell. Yeah. Parameterization is most important in solving integral very easily. Suppose you are giving one integral is integral f dot dr. F is some something, some xi plus 5 y squared j, something I'm just writing randomly. Now r is r, you know, dr is dxi plus dy j, right? In 2D, say. Over the curve C is equal to suppose ti plus 5 50 70 square j. Suppose. So what you will do is that means x is your t, and this problem x is your t and y is 57 t square, right? So you write integral f dot dr and find value t will give in, a point will give in 0 0 0 0 0 2 1 1, suppose. So t is running from 0 to 1, and you put x as t and y as 57 t square. Then you solve. And so dx means dt and dy means 57 into 2t. That means something 4 Okay, just parameterize thing. I'm not solving, I just give you the outline. So if you parameterize, directly you will get the answer. And if you don't want to parameterize, you will be in trouble, because the curve is given in the form of parameter. So you should remember this thing, okay? Similarly, this f dot dr represent work done by a force F over some curve. Or similarly, if you have to find some length of the integral, length of a curve, then you also have to do parameterization. I told this thing in my class, so please check that. Most important is these two. One is finding limit and one is parameterization. And how you find limit, you have to draw the graph. If you don't know the graph, then it is sometimes it is not good, because uh, actually from the graph only you have to visualize the limit of the integral. Suppose some in the xy plane, the xy plane. Suppose this is called one plane, x plus y plus z equal to suppose 10. So from where x varies, from where z varies, from where y varies, you have to visualize by drawing the graph. Okay. And in some cases you have to take projection and finding area using projection. This type of problem also I solved. You can check those things. And I will move to some other thing, because I'm not solving any particular problem, so I am not drawing any graph, because I already solved problems. Okay, fine. Up to this it is fine.
Yes.
Okay, so now I will tell something about your line integral, surface integral conversion. That means theorems. That means Stokes theorem, cross divergence theorem, and Green's theorem. Already yesterday I told about Green-Stokes theorem, but I will tell again. So first of all, most important is, okay, so let me write Stokes theorem or Green's theorem in plain. I told you na the relation or cross divergence theorem. I told you na relation yesterday, Stokes theorem and
Yes.
Green's theorem. So you remember that. Stokes theorem, if you take projection in the xy plane, you will get Green's theorem. So first of all, Stokes theorem and Green's theorem, they represent line integral to surface integral. So line integral f dot dr is surface integral curl f dot n hat ds. And how you find curl? As I told you, you have to do cross product with the grad operator. Yesterday only I told you this thing. So When you apply, that is the most important thing. When you can apply Stokes theorem, tell me. When you
So when the vector field f is continuously differentiable everywhere.
no, yeah, you have to tell something about surface and this curve. Continuously differentiable, it is given, but sometimes the
So
curve.
the loop has to be closed.
Yes, who told this? Who? You, Abhitav?
Yes.
That is correct. Loop nahi, the curve C is a closed curve. It is the most important. If the F is differentiable, suppose C is not a closed curve, if you apply Stokes theorem, you will get wrong answer. Curve C is a closed curve. Of
And
what?
for Gauss divergence theorem, the surface
Uh,
is a closed surface.
yes, yes. Let me just okay, just see. I think the charge is showing less. Let's see. Okay, 19% no issues can be done. Only 656 way. Okay, so where I was there is that curve is a closed curve and not and curve is a closed curve. What is C? C is the boundary of the surface S. That means the boundary of the surface is a closed curve. It is the most important, okay? Whatever I wrote in red color, when you apply Stokes theorem, is curve is a closed curve. F is differentiable, that is another issue. In most of the problem, you will get F is differentiable. But main issue is curve is a closed curve or not. Then you apply Stokes theorem or Green's theorem, whatever, both. And for the Gauss divergence theorem also, Gauss divergence theorem, what is this theorem saying? Tell me. Integral, surface integral is equal to what?
Volume integral
Volume integral of what?
of del dot v, del dot
F.
f, which is the
dV.
divergence for that vector
Divergence.
field.
So when you apply again closed surface, surface is closed. Then you have to apply, you have to compute the divergence of F and dV. Divergence is easily computed, thus grad operator dot F. Dot means dot product. So what is the main intention? You have to put then the limit carefully of the volume x, y, z, 3. Okay. And all these cases in all the Stokes theorem, Gauss divergence theorem, and Green's theorem, parameterization is one point. Parameterization means sometimes what happens is that after you finding the applying Stokes theorem also you cannot solve. Then what you will do? You have to parameterize. You have to use polar coordinates. Polar coordinates, that is x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. Theta varying from something 0 to 2 pi. Suppose it is given first coordinate, then theta varying from 0 to pi by 2. That you should carefully look in your question. It is given first coordinate or not, it is given first octant or not. Similarly, spherical polar coordinate. Similarly, cylindrical polar coordinate. Carefully you observe what is given in the question, octant, coordinate, whole plane. Because as I told you, if you make mistake in finding this limit, then you will get the wrong answer. So most important is finding the limit. That you always remember in your future also, not in this exam. In multiple integral or in any integral, most important is finding the limit. If you find the limit carefully, then you can do it. If you know integral very well, you can if you know integral, you can do it. But most important is finding the limit. Suppose you are not able to or not able to find the limit directly, you draw the graph. And most Most of the cases you have to draw the graph, because by drawing the graph only you can visualize the limits. For change of order of integration, you have to do you have to draw the graph of the limit, not the graph of the function. Remember, okay? Similarly, suppose your question is giving that on a sphere, you have to find the integral over a sphere. So you always parameterize as a polar coordinate, spherical polar coordinate. Suppose you are given, you have to parameterize, you have to find a integral over a cylinder. Then you cylindrical polar coordinate use. Both the coordinate I told in my class, in my tutorial, and I hope Sad also told this thing. So like that you have to solve. Again, suppose you have to take projection map. That means from DS to DA area, what you will do, what is the projection map? That also I told. Okay. So, and sometimes you remember some formula to solve, because I think in your exam you have to solve only MCQ, and so they will not ask you for process. So suppose you are finding a circular region area in one coordinate. So what is that? Pi r square by 4. Suppose you want to find in cube, in one octant you have to find its volume. So 4 by 3 pi r cube. Suppose surface area 4 by 3 pi r square. Like that. Sometimes you remember the formula directly. Sometimes you solve, because sometimes what happens is that suppose you have this sphere is given and you have to find the area of this portion, whatever I draw, whatever is in black portion. Suppose it is a inside, it is a this portion. So what you will do is that you know the volume of this whole thing, and you have to find the volume of this thing, volume or area, whatever it is given in the question. Okay. So what you will do, you first find this portion and you remove it from the total. Then you will get the area or volume of the black portion. So like that you have to solve. Similarly, for suppose one cylinder is given inside one cylinder is given, and inside one circle, not circle, inside one square, say, somehow some square something. Then main thing is you have to find the limit carefully. Okay, like that only you have to solve the questions. Main thing is you have to draw the graphs, that I already did in my all my classes, and you have to solve it. Okay, so like that. Okay, so that's it. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Uh, More or less, I give a recapitulation in 1 hour, that main topics, main important thing what you have to do, and where you should not. You should always do when parameterization, change of order of integral, and drawing the graphs. Main topic I just tell, so that it will help you in solving problem whatever it will come in the exam, main exam, that is on Saturday you are saying. So like that you have to solve. So if you have any question, you can ask me now, or any suggestion, or how is the course you feel, how is the tutorial classes of mine you feel, is it, give some feedback, because Roy, you attend all my classes, I think, with Roy and Vinotini. If you have any comments, you can comment. Yes, Mr. Roy, tell me.
It was a good course, and especially like the last lecture by Professor Dotto, that was very insightful, I can say, where he just discussed in general and also told. some extra things.
Okay. And
And
what about
the best part he told was that it is okay. Like if, for example, we have studied some course on something in some point in our lives, it's okay if we forget it in the future and we come back to our books to find out what's
yeah,
the correct thing while utilizing it in the future.
yeah, yeah, correct, correct. And what is your suggestion about my classes tutorial? How you like it and how any comment?
It was conducted well.
Okay, and any other comments, suggestion?
No.
Okay, and Vinotini, you have any question or you want to suggest something or any comment?
No, sir, your lecturing was very good, sir.
Okay, did you saw my videos that are available in that sheet and in YouTube? Did you saw? Hello. Okay, maybe connection problem or something. Okay, fine. I will upload this also I recorded, so I will upload this session also in 1 hour session in my in that YouTube, and it is also available in that sheet. I think I will upload it in the sheet also, that Excel sheet. So that's it from my side, and that's it because there is no other session, so my courses end here, and so I will stop the recording first.